Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
Well, this might be the most epic meltdown of the most delicate of flowers. That is of course, the species I'm referring to is the journalist. In particular, the genus game journalist. They are commonly referred to by me as urinalists because, well, they're dumb. They don't like video games. They really, really wish that they could be writing about things that are important to them, like politics, but they can't. They're stuck writing for garbage websites like Kotaku or Polygon or IGN, and it's painfully obvious in every word that they write, in the disdain that they have for the gaming community, in the disdain that they have for gamers, in particular, male gamers. It's painfully obvious in every article they write where they focus largely on the political side of a particular video game rather than, I don't know, the important things that some of us like. I don't know, maybe gameplay, story, controls, whether or not it's buggy, and probably the most mocked version of this, most mocked outlet, of course, is IGN. You can't spell ignorant without IGN. Now, Kotaku is obviously also a laughing stock, but IGN has been having a couple of really bad weeks, including having a mini revolt in their staff. IGN employees allegedly report morale is at an all-time low amidst editorial battle over voicing support for Palestine. The decision of IGN parent companies J2 Global and Ziff Davis to remove an article voicing support for Palestine from a video game news website has allegedly resulted in a storm of intercompany turmoil and chaos, all of which has led to morale among IGN employees being at a, quote, all-time low. See, if you wanted to write about video games, then you'd do that. But instead, you write about politics and you fundraise for politics. If you really wanted to write about politics, and then you weren't able to, then you would have morale at an all-time low. Now, by the way, look, I am fully willing to believe that there are good employees at IGN, and I really hope that you reach out to me and prove it to me. You know, you can always reach me at thequartering@gmail.com. I talk about this when I talk about companies like Riot Games or Ubisoft. Every time I talk about it, there are employees of these companies that watch my videos and email me and confirm that, yes, there are, of course, good people at these companies, and all you really hear about are these, like, woke idiots. I guarantee you there are people at IGN who don't plagiarize, like Philip Mewson did. I guarantee there are people at IGN that genuinely just want to talk about something they're passionate about, and that's video games. But these are the stories that get pushed to the top. So 82 of the company's 238 employees signed an open letter expressing their outrage that the recent management decisions to subvert our editorial autonomy and remove our post directing aid to Palestine, by the way, on a video game website. So they're very upset that they couldn't write about a global issue, a political issue on their video game website, and their morale was very, very low. Enter a new article from Hard Drive Magazine, which is a satirical gaming news website. It's hilarious. And they write, IGN writer excited to start playing game he just finished reviewing. Obviously, a poke at not just IGN, but games journalists in general who never play the games all the way through and yet expect us to take their video game reviews seriously. This is why most people trust YouTube video game reviewers like The Angry Joe Show, or even Jim Sterling, or Skill Up, or whoever you particularly like. These people, regardless of whether you like their political opinions, and all of them have them, they at least play the games. I don't particularly care for Angry Joe and his wishy-washy wokeness, but I trust his video game reviews. Same thing with Jim Sterling, same thing with Skill Up. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. They have my respect for their craft. Respect that games journalists, TM, will never have, because this is exactly, we're going to take a look at the article because it's hilarious, but IGN writer excited to start playing game he just reviewed. Let's see, top reply, Mike Footer from, he is a game dev business handbook founder, biz analyst, he, him, pronouns, important stuff. Nope, you're funny a lot of the time. This isn't one of those times. Besides the harassment of journalists, IGN team stood up for human rights against their own management recently, and lost, by the way. They don't deserve this ever, but especially now. You guys are thinking of, by the way, the guy you're thinking of is Philip Mewson, former IGN employee. About Zachary Ryan, certified blue check mark and director of editorial video at IGN. I realize this is likely just standard weekend repromo, but the timing is really bad and the message is worse. I'm typically a fan of your IGN goofs, but please consider taking this down. This is hurtful to a lot of hardworking folks. 400 replies, 200 likes. What do you mean hurtful? This reply rings so true. Just like a lot of times I'll get people on Twitter be like, bro, I'm usually a fan of yours, but this was too far, unsubscribed. I know for a fact that they're lying, because I've been relatively consistent over the years in my opinions of things. So if you were a fan of mine and a new take, reiterating an old point is suddenly offensive to you, you probably weren't a fan in the first place. You're just trying to, pretend you're trying to make your opinion valued. Nick Hurwitz, author, Socard created a wormhole. Delete this. This is an extremely terrible take. Do the right thing and take it down. 11 likes, 189 replies. Punching down isn't funny. Community manager for EA and BioWare, also he, him. 951 replies, 134 likes. Y'all rarely miss, but this is a big miss. Yikes. I didn't think you realized the damage a goof like this does. Reviewers and creators have it hard dealing with clowns in the comments. Just make our jobs harder, why don't you? Janet Garcia, another game critic. This ain't it at a time of very specific dig, but bringing this out in 2021 just perpetuates a harmful view of critics, and with all this stuff going on at IGN, this feels inappropriate. Garbage take. I mean, are you joking? Oh, here's a girl from Canada, professional victim, 81 replies, 5 likes. This is in poor taste and bad timing. I know this is supposed to be funny, but not right now. Ah, yes, the far left and the arbiters of when you cannot make jokes. But this is my favorite meme. Jokes, highly bad yet highly paid journalists, worst journalists. I love it. Chris Reagan, no way, people are actually deeply offended by this. This joke isn't helping anybody. Whole lot of salty game journalists in the replies and quote tweets. Sucks that they didn't get that New York Times gig like they pined for. That's Niche Gamer. That's exactly, this is a good website, by the way, to follow for actual gaming news, because that's exactly it, right? Like, here, all the journalists in the comments right now, ha, ha, joke. When comedy becomes deeply disrespectful. Exactly. I mean, this is one of the most hilarious journal meltdowns. Look, I've got to be honest with you. And I hope that an IGN employee reaches out to me and lets me know that there are some good people there. But you must understand that I understand that it sucks if you want to write about video games and you want to also support your family with, like, you know, a salary and stuff. Working at a place like IGN is a great place to do that. And I wish that they would stick to video games. But if you're some, you know, crypto political writer that's being forced to write about Cyberpunk, and all you could talk about are how, you know, the posters inside the game are offensive, I don't respect you. By the way, IGN also gave Cyberpunk like a 10 out of 10, didn't they? A nearly perfect score. Game was not perfect at all. I don't trust anything that comes out of IGN. And if you do work for IGN, I think you should continue to draw your salary, but take it from me. Build yourself a platform. Start being a YouTuber or a podcaster or whatever. Take IGN's corporate money to keep your bills paid, and then build your own empire. You don't need as many subscribers as you think to probably match that salary that you were making at IGN if you are a purist about video games and you actually want to cover them. The reason a lot of these other crypto games journalists work there is because they can't get hired at the New York Times or the Washington Post. So they work there, and they visibly and audibly hate what their lives are, their job, and the customers. Like cosign, this is some GG bait BS, y'all. Who's this? A video games common human, and you work at IGN. If you're reading this, he's blocked you or is about to. It's still funny and well preserved. Oh yeah, I already read that one. I had to, yeah, I like these people, yeah, game journalists, crybaby. I mean, what an amazing, amazing salt mine you see. You know, the outrage began on May 29th when Hard Drive, a satirical news site in the vein of The Onion or the Babylon Bee, whose content focused exclusively on video games, tweeted a link to an article. IGN writer starts playing a game he just finished reviewing from an official Twitter account. Originally written in 2018, it satirized a number of unprofessional, well-documented habits which have plagued the video games industry in recent years. Yeah, we've seen several game journals, I don't want to say many, several, get caught in 4K plagiarizing YouTubers. So ultimately you have IGN completely melting down. This ain't it. At a time it was a specific dig, but now it's just mean. Masking my profile photo because optics matter. Games journalists should not be taken seriously, ever. If games journalism ceased to exist tomorrow, three things would happen. The number of new studios would fall, the number of paid influencer campaigns would rise, the cost of making games would increase due to needing significantly larger ad spend. Disagree. Disagree. I think if there were no more video games journalists, the world would be a much better place. I mean, I hope they all still live happy and productive lives. But I want people who actually love video games to write about them, not these political hacks who get their fee-fees hurt when their industry gets called out. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.